Right, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. um, I hope you like my little doodle. I love these doodles. These doodles are the best doodles ever. And I don't know why someone's calling me right now while I just started the stream. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe. That does support the channel. Hit that like button so we can tell other people that we're all doing awesome stuff here. And a little bit about me. My name is Sham. I do crypto stuff. No BS on this thing, apart from a few doodles here and there every now and then. So I called this pattern Batman yesterday, right? So I said, look, this is a Batman pattern. Like, you know, it's something to see. So I'm calling it a Batman or a Mickey Mouse or a Goblin. And what do I mean about that? Well, Batman's a hero, right? So is this a hero pattern? Or is this a Mickey Mouse pattern where basically it's just going to be some sort of like, you know, trying to manipulate us into thinking the market's going down or market's going up? Is that what it's going to do? Is it going to be a Mickey Mouse going to make some fun out of us? Or is it a goblin? Is it going to eat us up? All right. So just having a bit of fun anyway. But yeah, no, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Crypto is not a joke, and crypto is all about being serious, right? So when we're quite serious, what do we see? So I'm looking at this on an hourly chart, and my chart is lagging a lot. I don't know why, guys. So just bear with me. Well, it lags. I don't know. You know, it's a bit silly. But yeah, what we want to see is the market giving us a higher low, right? So I just want to get to the point, right? Let's not go around the roundabout a little bit. Let's just be straight up with exactly what's going on. I can see Chaos on the chat. Welcome, my brother. Awesome, awesome. Goblin. He says Goblin. Stone One YGM. Awesome, bro. Afternoon, my brother. How you doing? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Whose icon is that? I can't see because it's so small. I can't see the icon. So on Stone One YGM, I don't know. I mean, you look very similar to the founder of Facebook. The resemblance. I don't know. I can't see anyway. I haven't got my glasses on, but doesn't matter anyway. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now let's talk about exactly what we see. So on the hourly, we're seeing this pattern forming, right? Everything looks, you know, kind of insane. It's like, oh my days, what's going to really happen? But what I am looking for, and I'll be honest with you, right? And I'm zooming into this because I really have to zoom in to see what, you know, what is the market really telling us, right? Let's try and zoom into this and see what the market is really telling us. So on the hourly, what we see is we've had this low. The lowest point we had was around 9 a.m., which is awesome to see. 9 a.m., right? And what I'm looking at is, I'm trying to find is these points here. So I know this was a low. I know this was a low. I know this was a low. And I know this was a low. So my argument here is this all of these lows, are they higher? Yeah, exactly. I mean, looks like Facebook founder. I forgot what his name is. This is the problem with me. I've got memory issues. But anyway, I can't remember names. That's my problem. Nothing else, actually. But look, this is what I'm seeing, right? So I'm seeing this upward, nice little upward trend, which is awesome to see. And, you know, I don't like to talk about head and shoulders and this and that because they really don't matter. They come up on any time frame. So on the hourly, we see something. But if we move up the hours a little bit, right? So if we go up to the 4 hourly, I do see this is bearish. So this is a very, very bearish pattern. To be honest, it is not a head and shoulders. So if anyone tells you it's a head and shoulders, this is not a head and shoulders. You do not have a small head on a shoulder. You have a bigger head on a shoulder. So please do understand this is not a head and shoulders. So these are lower time frames, right? 4 hourly. Now, when we move into the daily, we see something quite funny, and we see this. On the daily, we're seeing this other data here, which actually is kind of insane to see. And this is what I'm thinking, right? So did we have, is it a Mickey Mouse, right? Or what's going on, right? So this is showing me this pattern here. So this kind of a W, because what we've got is a low here and a low here, right? And both of these lows indicate that we've had a higher low. And I think this is showing us that there's a sign of reversal right here. So obviously we need to go deeper into the charts to understand exactly what's going on and if it's going to be bullish or if it's going to be bearish, right? That's the key here. We need to understand this. Now, we do understand, like, you know, from the analytics that we've done so far, we know that, for example, in order for us to have a downwards momentum, we would have to go below this particular level to make sure the trend is low. So far we haven't, so that means the trend seems to be still undecided. We still don't know where we're going, but we also know that we need to get above this line in order for us to basically confirm that we're still moving up. So we can still see we're in this sideways channel right now. We're not going to talk about other levels and this and that, right? Because if we are talking about other levels, then we are talking about these areas here where we can see that we've had some support and resistance. And someone's still calling me. What's going on here? Why would they call me now for? Anyway, so that's what we're seeing. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to go too far out of all of this, like, because obviously where we are in the market. And what we want to do is we want to now start observing and seeing, okay, how many Bitcoin are in the thing. So I haven't done any refreshing since yesterday. I was out all night. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Let's see if Bitcoin is entering or exiting. So we know there's some Bitcoin entering, you know, even though it's showing minus, there's some Bitcoin entering here. And we can confirm all of this by looking at some other charts. So let's look at open interest. Oof, green. Now this is telling us, look, I mean, that was yesterday actually. So let's see what today comes up. This would be really, really nice to see. Green. Okay, still green, guys, still green. So when we're seeing all of this being green, that means basically the market is still very bullish. So that's really, really awesome to see. I can see Playman has just come in. Awesome, bro. Hello, brother. Nice to see you on the chat. So awesome. So this is all good. When we're looking at the grayscale holding, we want to see what's going on here. No, this is telling us the market is, so you see how this is a conflicting information, right? We see that one is saying market is going up, the other one's indicating market still wants to go down. And I would respect the grayscale one a little bit more, because remember, they are the largest holders of Bitcoin on the planet, right? I'm not going to bother with this one. This one's just showing the spot market. What I want to see here is a confirmation whether the BTC has been leaving or whether it's been coming in, right? So we want to see all of this. Let's go into Quant and see what it's doing, and I'll take a sip on my coffee. So far it seems to be okay. We still got BTC leaving, so that's fine. I mean, it's not affected as much, so I'm quite happy with all of this. Yeah, net flows is kind of steady, like, you know, a little bit of up and down here, not too much. Yeah, funding is good. ETH is still leaving, so that's a good story. I mean, everything here is showing good, super good. Now let's have a look at the money market and see what the market's doing. We can see what the money's doing. We can see money sitting in the USD pairs. So we can see USDT, BUSD, USDC, USDK, whatever you want to call it, all these USD bollocks. We can see that that's where the money's sitting. So these are the 200 major movers. We can see that's where the money's been sitting. So when we look at the market, we can see money's been coming out of the big boys and going into these little boys here, right? So question is all of this the end, right? Is this the end, you know, for BTC? Are we going to be, you know, is it, are we going down, and, you know, we're going to stay down? What's the story so far? Well, let's have a look at a few metrics here. So number one metric we're going to look at is ATR, right? So the ATR is telling us that if we did have a dump, we could have, either we can go down $2,500. So you can see this from here. We can go down $2,500, or we can go up $2,500. So if we did go to up $2,500, it's telling us that we could easily go back to around this $45,000 level. So we can pump all the way up to here, possibly break this neckline and continue, right? That's what it's showing. If we did come down, it's telling us that we would have a bounce here. Pretty simple. So we use this to kind of tell us exactly what it's going to do. Now, this is normally used for trading and stop loss, so I'm just using this as a metric to say, okay, this is giving me a rough guidance what's going on. Now, we can get rid of ATR, right? That's average true range. We can get rid of this, right? We don't need this anymore. Now what we're looking at is what's known as the NVT signal, right? So on the NVT signal, we can see this, we're in this red zone, which is usually the bullish zone. It means the market is still bullish during the daily. Now we want to see it on a higher time frame because it makes more sense when we look at these higher time frames, and we can see we're still in this bullish area. So everything is still showing, right? Net volume is still bullish. So we're quite happy with this as well. So this is also giving us a good indicator. Everything is super solid. Now let's move over to the next one. And we're using these indicators to actually give us a rough guidance on what the market wants to do. So all of what we see here is we've got the RSI, we've got the stochastic here, and we've got the MACD here. So on the MACD, what you're seeing on the weekly, it is indicating down. And so far, we are getting a confirmation. So there's a massive confirmation saying, yes, we are still going down. Also, this is showing that we are going down. So remember, this midpoint here, we have a line here, this middle point here. It's showing that we are going to come back down here. Now, whether we come back down here and go below, that's bearish. But if we do come back here and bounce up again, we should be awesome. So the pattern we want to see is come down here, so we can confirm and say, look, we are coming down. So we come here and then we go green. That's super bullish. If we come down here and then go below the line and then create one of these, then sadly that is kind of bearish, right? So that's what we're looking at. But I'm still observing all of this on a higher time frame and trying to see exactly what all of this means for us, right? You know, so especially when I'm doing my own custom setup. So when I do my own custom setup on this particular one, it gives me a better idea because I've set it up differently. So here, for example, when I'm looking at the weekly, it is giving me a better setup. I can see a lot more data, a lot more confirmation. It's a lot more easier to see. And this is all telling me we are coming down. So we still have another 1 or 2 weeks, guys, before we start seeing any kind of a bullish action, right? So just be cautious, especially those who want to trade. This is the time frames you want to be looking. So higher time frames will give you a rough estimate of how long you should be in a trade. So for those guys who do day trading, you're actually okay, right? In a sense, you're actually okay. Even though, look here, we do have the RSI, the stochastic RSI, all of them confirming that we are coming down, which is awesome to see, right? So, you know, I know a lot of people are like, what the hell is this guy saying? Awesome. Yes, it is awesome, right? Why? Because we've got this blue line coming here. Let this blue line come down to wherever it needs to. If it actually goes down here, this is super bullish because this is oversold territory, and then we start moving back up. We want to see this red line follow along behind it and come along as well. Awesome. We want to see this yellow line. So we've got the blue line leading, so that would be our leading line, and then we have the red line, which is lagging, and then we have this yellow line, which is also coming down, but anywhere below this level, and then comes back up again. As soon as we see the yellow line flip back up again, and possibly, and what we want to see, we want to use this as our indicator, possibly even break this neckline here or break this neckline here, we know that it's trending to go up again, and that's basically super bullish. I mean, for us, we might even see a new all-time high if we start breaking these necklines. So we're looking at these daily higher time frames, and we're saying as soon as we start flipping back up and we start creating these levels where we start shooting up and doing guess what? We've got ourselves a brand new all-time high at some point. So these are the levels we want to go to. Remember, this is July, and you see how high it was. So that's where we want to go back to. We want to go back to these higher levels here. So far, obviously everything's been indicating bearish for us, and I know a lot of people have been panicking and whatnot. Listen, it's part of crypto, it's part of life. It's not just crypto, any markets. There's nothing that goes up straight up in a straight line, all right? Everything has to basically come down. Whatever goes up must come down, right? So that's the rules. We do understand this, and that's how we got to keep it. So far, this is what we've got, right? And if you look carefully, this is like, for example, I'll give you a good example. So if you see this neckline here, if we go below this, then that's when we're actually kind of slightly bearish. What we want to see is this reverse around here somewhere and move up and give us a pattern that shows us something like this, right? If we can get something like this, we are moving forward, and yeah, going to create some new highs. Awesome, right? So far so good. We understand all of this is showing what it's showing us, but I mean, the charts are also giving us an indication that, guys, you know, these low momentums that we're seeing, we might actually see a little bit more, right? So, you know, when we look at the short time frames, you can see we might actually see a little bit more, because remember, as I said, this is a bearish pattern, right? So when you're looking at this on a higher time frame, you don't see it, because on a higher time frame, you're seeing this pattern form. Where is it? Let's bring this pattern over. So on a higher time frame, you're seeing this pattern form, right, which is actually a bullish pattern, which is not an issue. This is a bullish pattern. But on a lower time frame, you'd end up seeing something else, which is a bearish pattern. So this is a bearish pattern, all right? So we can see that on the shorter time frame, we're zooming in to see all of this bearish pattern here, which is not good at all, okay? Not good at all. So let's see what it does. We just need it to confirm, basically. Ultimately, that's the most important thing. But as I said, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, and the light is that we do have this particular area here that is giving us this particular pattern, which is quite good. So we've had 1 touch point, 2 touch point, 3 touch points, and you know I don't like to use wicks normally, but here I am using the wicks because we're in a lower time frame. We can use the wicks, and even if I didn't use the wicks, just the bodies, you can see that our little curvature is still very good. We're still trending upwards, which is awesome to see. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be shaken out. A lot of people are going to be shaken out because people just don't understand what the market does and why the market does what it does. It's sad, but that's what's going to happen. You know, for us, we just got to keep a cool and see what's going on. I mean, here you can see that all time frames, some longs have been kind of wiped out, right? But you can see that there were just only a few spikes here and there. That was a big one. I think that was a big one, 271 million. Other than that, normally just keeping it within a range. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys just want to catch that trade, just want to make that money, but sometimes you don't trade. You know, there is time for trade. Like the other day, OC was on the chat, and I did say to OC, I said, OC, the market looking like it's going to go down, get the fuck out, full stop, right? So that's what I said to him. I said, get the hell out. I hope he did get out at the time, and he's safe now, because technically right now we're actually lower. The price is actually lower than where we started from. So the trade that I did with him, we're actually lower. So, you know, that's what it's showing. Now, on a lower time frame, I want to show you one other thing as well on a lower time frame, because this will also make sense to you. Let's get rid of all of these drawings and let's zoom in a little bit. On the lower time frames, what you're seeing is we have this pattern forming here. You can see on the lower time frames, we do have some bullish action forming here. So this is the RSI, right? You can see the yellow line bouncing on this, super bullish, right? And then if you look at the stochastic RSI, you also see this pattern forming, or you can even take it from here. So for example here, and you can see this pattern forming here, also indicating bullish. Okay, is it a good time to open a trade on the 4 hourly? Actually, it's not a bad time. This is actually okay to open a trade, but you got to know your risk management and see what's going on, right? On the hourly, my God, this is extremely bullish. I mean, this is just on another level. See on the hourly how we had this massive spike, right? This is extremely bullish. This is where you have successful trades. So again, guys, do understand the lower time frames are for you if you're on the computer. If you're not on the computer, then you want to look at the higher time frames and ultimately look at the entire data. And the entire data is saying, guys, we are coming down. So, you know, don't do any stupid trades. That's what I'm going to suggest here right now. Now, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Ethereum. That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing fine. I'm not bothered about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum. Let me get rid of all of this. So sorry, I was doing some stuff with someone yesterday. We had a massive session yesterday, and I was showing a few bits and bobs on what's going on and how the market actually works. On Ethereum, you can see pretty much the same pattern as BTC. I'm not really going to go too deep into this. Again, for us to remember, for us to be bullish, we need to break above this red line and this red line here. I've already mentioned this, so I'm not going to really repeat that. Let's see what the market does. Nothing too great, but I do see a good indication here saying that we are kind of confused, but ultimately we do want to move up. So this area is showing a little bit of a confusion. So this is why we wouldn't be really sure what's going on. Let's just wait and see, wait for this to kind of reverse. And you can see how this gap is started to close, right? Slightly bearish, but the gap is started to close. And all we want to see is the blue line flip back up again on the MACD. Then we're confirmed we are going up. Also, while we're looking at MACD and all sorts as well, I want to see one more indicator. Give me a second. Let me bring this one more indicator for you. And that will make so much sense. We want to, not this, sorry. We want to look at money flow, right? So we just get the MFI. And we want to see is the money flowing in or flowing out. And so far you can see, guys, the money's been flowing out a little bit. So we've got to wait for the money to flow back in again. We want to see when the money started moving back up, that's when we want to be super bullish, okay? So far you can see this on a higher time frame. You can see this pattern forming. And I'll show you what I mean. Because a lot of the times we have so much noise and so much information coming in that we actually stop looking at these things, and we shouldn't be stopping to look at these things, because you can see what's happened here. So for example, when I'm doing this, you see how this money's been falling, So the money flow has been going down. And here, for example, there was a little bit of a trend. So we did have a nice little bit of a trend, and then we broke that trend. So we can see how we invalidated this nice little trend here. So if we did stay on this line, we would have been okay, but we broke down. As long as we don't go below this, we're fine. So what we want to do is now try and do these kind of a bounce here and try and move back up again. So we want to come into this area where we squeeze. Eventually money flow comes back to the same level, and that's what's going to give us those big pumps. Okay, very big pump. So we need to understand money flow is very important for us as well. And you can see whenever we peak around those times, right? When we're over bullish, this is when the money's coming in to the market. And so far we can see money has left, and they're not, they're just starting to creep back in again. So secretly they're coming back in again. So very good indicator to actually observe. And also we can use this same indicator on, let's get another chart. Let's use it on this chart. So if we use it on this chart, you can see this is the Bitcoin chart, and on the Bitcoin chart, same story. You can see how the money flow, oh, this is quite interesting. Wow, okay, this is on another level. Okay, so what I've just seen here is awesome. So what I'm seeing here is we're creating these high lows. Can you see this high low, high low, high low? So right from here, since May, the money has been actually coming back into BTC. Now we do know this because we know that a lot of money has been coming into BTC and kind of buying up the BTC and moving it out of the exchanges. So that's how we know that exchanges are shortage. And you can see the dump date, for example, when we had a little bit of a dump. So around here we had a little bit of a dump, and that money started coming out, and we can see it's creeping back in again. So this is awesome to see. When we get back to those levels, it will be interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on this. But other than that, look, the market is doing pretty much exactly what it needs to do. I'm not too concerned. Again, if you look at these daily, you can see how the MACD is getting ready. So we want to see the blue line flip back up again. We want to see the green, these green zones pop up, and it's coming, guys. It's coming, right? So that's all I'm going to say. It's definitely coming. We just got to wait for it. It can't be any worse than it is. But again, here you see this indecisive area. These are the things that need to make you worried, and these are the things that you need to say, do not trade. Now, if somebody's buying, so somebody wants to buy, these are perfect opportunities to buy. But what you do, you buy with the intention to hold for at least 5 years. The reason is because we're at this critical level in time where anything could happen to the market. Absolutely anything could happen to the market, right? Traditionally, if we look back, and I want to do this, let me do this on this chart, so I don't want to ruin that chart. Give me a second. Let me get rid of all of this stuff here, because what I'm about to show you is really, really interesting. I want to show you something very interesting, but I want to do it on, so let's keep it on the weekly. Actually, let's keep it on the weekly. Let's go auto, and let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. And what we're looking for is a time zone. Right, we want to look at this time zone. I want to see exactly how this time zone. So we're not drawing dates or anything. We just want to draw some. Where is it? So for example, let's do this. So what we're looking at is months of October to December. That's all I'm looking for. So let's call it October to January. I think that would be easier. So what we see traditionally on the month of October, even in a bear market, from October, right? Obviously, forget the date. Don't look at the date, guys. So we're looking at the thing. So October to January, just say January, or we can make it December. I don't know. Yeah, December. You can see we have these pumps, and I want to track these, and I want to see, do we have this all the time? Is it traditionally that we have this kind of a thing? Like, do we have this every single time? Funnily, we do. So if you look carefully, again, let's put it on a December. And we just want to observe just what the pattern is, right? Nothing more. So we have one here, for example. This is the 2011. This is the 2012, and we're just tracking that. We want to see traditionally what has been the case for us. So we see these, let's do this one here, October. Let's go into October to December, right? And we can see traditionally during October, November, December, we do see these kind of moves, right? Let's see if we can find the next one. So that was 2013. Let's see if we can find 2014 one. 2014. So this is 2014. Now 2014 was probably the only one we did dump. So you can see 2014, trying to get it in. So 2014 we did actually have a little bit of a dump. So far we've got 3 to 1. So 3 to the wins, 1 to the loss, right? Now let's see the next one, what it does. typically on a December, right? And the reason I'm showing you this is because it makes more sense. So when you're doing probabilities, you can say, okay, probability is that we might actually see a pump because of the statistics that we got, and we can see that we do get a pump here. Also, August, September, let's go to October, and we also see a pump here as well. So we do see a pump here, so we are winning more, so we got more wins than loss. So far so good. Let's have a look at another one here. So again, let's go back to October, let's go to December, let's just keep it there. So far we see a pump, so we can see these pumps do come right in the season. We can see yearly these pumps do come, and we have been winning more than losing. So let's see this one. Right, so this was October, so let's keep this as an from here to here, for example. December, September, October. So this was another October in a bear market. So we're seeing a pattern forming here. We're seeing in the bear market, of course, the Octobers are a thump, but during a bull market, we have more wins, right? So we're observing this and we're saying, okay, this is kind of interesting, right? Let's have a look at the most recent. So now we're in this October. So we're in 2020 October. So 2020 October to December, we have another pump, right? So we understand that so far, as long as the market is trending up, from what you can see here, and I'm not making this up for you, right? When the market is trending up, actually, what was this? Damn, this was also in October. So why would we want to miss that for? Let's use this October too. So October to December. Let's just use this. Why not? December. Let's use this data too. Right, let's bring this in. Right, so what we see is when the market is trending up, Octobers are very, very good. Of course, sometimes we do get a dump. So, but it's been super good, super good. Even, I mean, on this one, even in a bear market, it was actually good. So not to worry there, because this was probably the beginning of a bull run, right? And then we can see this up, up, up. So we have, more wins than losses. So far in history, we can see that we've had 1, 2, so 2 specific year, right? And these are years apart, so 2 times in history where we've had the October to be a shitty month. 2 times in history, right? October, November, December. So this last Q4 basically to be a shitty month, right? And then the facts are telling us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, sorry, 7, not 8, 7. So 7 times it's been bullish. So now we have a ratio. We have this whole model forming. Like, okay, 7 times in the past we've been super bullish during Q4, and only 2 times during the past we've been super bearish. So we see all of this, right? So the data now is giving us what we need to see and how to pursue. So from this point, we can make a decision and we can say, okay, that it's a higher probability that we end up having a bullish thing during this Q4, right? Traditionally, we have a higher probability. So I know like some people like try and use certain data. And I'm like, no, guys, there's certain things that you have to understand is how the market does. And we can look at the chart and just see previous history and observe on that. So, do we know what's going to happen on the next few candles? We don't. But what we do know is the higher probability of us going up and lower probability of us going down based on the facts that we've already seen, right? Guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that like button. Leave a comment as well. I mean, actually, no, you can't leave a comment because if you're on the stream, you can't, because on a live stream, you don't actually leave comments. Let's have a look. Let's switch this off, because I've got people trying to message me. Free energy, finally. So I've got free. I know who you are, my brother. So free energy's on the chat. Awesome. He's changed his name. This is absolutely awesome. So I hope this kind of helps. Now, we did Free Energy and me. We actually had a conversation earlier on regarding something else. We had a conversation regarding Celsius, BlockFi, and Nexo. And with, you've got to do your own research, of course, right? Do your own research, very important. And I have done mine. And from the research I've did so far, I found Celsius to be kind of the shittest of the shittest, even though their rates are really good and their pays are really good. I don't like the terms and conditions. They literally act like a bank. They can seize your funds. They can do whatever they want. I'm not happy with that. So that's why I don't put too much money. I put a very small amount of money in Celsius. In fact, I've only put one coin to do a test, and I've left that test amount there. I haven't really taken the test amount out. Just wanted to see how it works. And so far, I mean, they are paying interest, which is okay. They're paying it in kind, which is okay. I just don't like the terms and conditions. But anyway, I don't put money that I can't afford to lose onto an exchange. So that's what I've did there. BlockFi, I've done testing with them before. Very good, but they only operate Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. New York time. Remember, New York time. That means no trading on the weekend, nothing on the weekend. So if you try to withdraw your money on a Friday, for example, and that you miss them, they won't send that money until Monday. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that drama over there, and I don't like that. That's too much. I mean, okay, it's secure. The way they do it, they confirm. Are you sending it XYZ? You got to double confirm. All good. But crypto should be based on a protocol, not human control, and I see a lot of human control there. So for that reason, I do only put a very little amount there. I don't even bother with them actually most of the times. I did use them quite a bit, but now I don't even use them. I used to promote them a bit. And then I started testing out Nexo. And Nexo, I'm actually one of the early users of Nexo. So I know a lot of people might go on Nexo and see there's a Nexo debit card. You have to wait for a waiting list. Well, I don't have to wait for a waiting list because I'm one of the early adopters, and I do have my own debit card and everything with Nexo. So sorry to say that, but I do have it because I had it since day one. And I did make a mistake. So I used to hold quite a significant amount of Nexo tokens, and I was getting good rewards. So I didn't really put my money there. I just used the free Nexo tokens I had. Well, not free, but some Nexo tokens I had. And I did sell them when the market kind of topped out. When it went to about $2, I did kind of sell them. So I'm not quite happy. I'm not proud of myself for doing what I did. I should have left it there and let it grow. But I'm not doing the same thing. So that's kind of leading me into BitDAO. With BitDAO, we've seen what BitDAO's been doing. Not this one, sorry. BitDAO. So BitDAO gave everybody free BitDAO tokens. Awesome. Everybody received the tokens already. Happy days. Then BitDAO says you can now start to stake your BitDAO and earn. So let me zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, zoom in so I can show you. So BitDAO said, we give you free tokens. Everybody got their free tokens. Happy days. Now the BitDAO said you can stake your tokens and get even more. So you can get up to 56% APY, which you have to divide over a certain amount of time and whatever the percentage is. Anything is better than nothing. So that's the most important thing. You're getting free BitDAO token. Then you get those free BitDAO token, you put it into the staking, and you're now earning even more free. And then this is the best part. In the future, right? In the future, so around 10 hours time, they're going to do this airdrop. They're going to drop even more. So they're going to do an airdrop. Even more things are going to come in, and you stand. It's not this. So like you're going to get about up to 600. Awesome. Leave that. I'm not going to be bothered about that. That's for people who are trading. So they want you to kind of try and wipe out and this and that. But if you do just buy, then you're good. Now, the next part is, right, and this is the best part about all of this, right, is this area here. So you see Q4 2021. So somewhere around, this month or next month or whatever, this is what it gets. So if you hold BIT tokens, you get exclusive perks, and some of those perks, what they didn't mention, is actually let me see if I can see it this way. Okay, so something like this. Okay, definitely, bro. Definitely. Abe, definitely, bro. Solana. Bro, Solana. We're going to do Solana. Of course, why not, bro? I got those, don't worry. So you can see if you hold a certain amount of bit token, and I'm sure I've seen a little explanation somewhere. What they said is, if you hold the BitDAO token, any other token launches that they're going to do on their launch pad, holders will be getting a reward, right? So that's what's going on right now. But yeah, I mean, people for 600 bit tokens, the best advice is if you do want to be eligible to grab yourself 600 more bit tokens or win a chance, because it's a chance, right? So if you want to take, this was guaranteed, this is guaranteed, this is a chance. If you want to take that chance, you can go and trade some. My advice is best thing to do if you're trading. If the market is down, just go and pick up some more on spot and just keep it, right? That's what I would do. I would load up more rather than trading it to sell it or anything like this. I'm not here to make profit with BitDAO. I'm here to hold as many BitDAO as possible, and hopefully one day, if this pumps up to $10 or $20 or maybe $100 or maybe even higher than that, maybe if it does a what do you call this? If it does a Binance on us, or maybe an FTT on us, right? Anything like that, that's going to be interesting. So that's what I want to see this do, because remember, most of the exchange tokens that we do have, and let me just go here quickly. So most of the exchange tokens that we have, you can see they have pumped significantly. So for example, Binance Coin, we've seen at $300. Let's do another exchange token. Hold on one second. And you can see how they've pumped, right? So this is the most important thing. When you see this, like FTT, for example, 52, awesome, $52, right? Let's have another one. Crypto.com, it's a bit shitty right now, but you know what? If Crypto.com is around 15 cents, it's worth buying, in my opinion, actually. If that is the Crow token, that's bloody cheap. My God, that is cheap. Okay, that is very cheap. I mean, Near Protocol, technically they're like an exchange. You do synthetics, but $7, not bad. $7. What have we got here? I mean, Waves technically is a platform. It's obviously its own blockchain as well, but $24. Because you can use the Wave platform to do whatever. But again, I mean, I can go down. I'm sure there's plenty more here for me to show when I find them. But you can see normally, look, just get a rough idea. Exchange tokens do, I mean, even this Celsius token, the very same Celsius we've been talking about. Look, you hold Celsius, you're locking the Celsius, and look how Celsius pumps, $5. So I'm sure BitDAO token is going to basically change lives if people actually hold them. DYDX, I mean, come on, we talked about it. Brother KR knows about DYDX. I've talked about this many times, and look where it is now. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Now let's move into other stuff. So that's what I wanted to just kind of take you guys back to. So understand what all of this means. You've put your money. You can take your money out now. You've received the free amount. Stake the free amount. Hold the free amount. That's all I'm saying, right? Trading is not recommended, because obviously unless you're making money, you shouldn't be trading anyway. You know, just because your hope of getting another 600. Usually, you know, you could end up losing 600. So just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. But as I said, if you want to trade, just go and buy something, just hold some. That's the most advisable thing. Not a financial advice, obviously. So go and do what you want, and that kind of helps. And that's pretty much what I'm thinking about doing. I have been looking at the markets. All right, I have been looking at the markets, and where is it? Spot markets, and you can see the price has increased a little bit. But remember, guys, this was at $1.70 few days ago, so it's not really that much, you know what I mean? You can see we've had a high of 194. So this is what, you know, if you're trading this and you can sell around here, it's not bad, you know. But yeah, I mean, this would have been a good opportunity. 1.3, awesome. Volume is very good, $12 million. Awesome. So let's move on to next stuff. Brother asked for Solana, and if I'm correct, I believe on the title I did mention a few coins. So let's talk about Solana and the rest of them, right? So let's move into, we did Ethereum, so we're not going to talk about Ethereum anymore. Actually, let's have a look at dominance before we move anywhere. Give me a sec, guys. Not good. Okay, I'm not going to look at so this is BTC dominance. Not good at all, guys. Not good at all, right? So let's leave that there. Let's move over. Actually, one more before we move over. Let's have a look at DeFi. DeFi is good, so I'm happy with DeFi. DeFi is very bullish. In fact, this candle here, let's move over to daily, actually. Very good. Slightly low, but not bad. DeFi is good. I'm happy with DeFi. Total market cap, sad that we had to come back down to the 1.9 trillion. We were at just over 2 trillion. And where we are now, it's not really nice, but let's see. I mean, it's following BTC, so leave that. Let's move over to... we'll have a look at BNB. Shit, it's crap. It's crap, absolutely crap. Not bothered even looking at it. Dot. Yeah, Dot needs to get out of this channel. This is a bad channel. So far, I mean, everything looks good. See, when we look at this, we see this. This is very good. But this channel, we just need to break this channel as soon as we can. because we did, normally if we see a channel that actually does this, right, something like this, it's okay. It's nothing. We can decide. We can say, right, this is looking very bullish. We might pump up and do X, Y, Z, right? But when we end up seeing a channel that's formed here and it's literally bouncing around here, it's not really the best. This is more of a consolidation, sideways area, non-decisive. We have no idea what it's going to do. So we've got to be very careful on this one. Solana. Now let's go into Solana. I'm going to take some of this off. We don't need this. And you can see this is from my previous stuff. Solana, now this is an interesting one. Solana does this, right? Solana's doing this, and Solana's looking like it wants to peak, right? So this, we can tell Solana is actually bullish, right? And we can confirm all of this, and this is on a higher time frame. Remember, I'm not doing on a low time frame. On a higher time frame, we can see this pattern, obviously the same as the market, but Solana is showing some bullish action here. Also, if we start looking at the bottom, we can see that there is some bullish formation forming here on the stochastic RSI and the RSI as well. So you can see there's some bullish formation forming here. It's in a perfect zone. It wants to rebound and come in again. It's just a matter of basically the sentiment in the market to kind of give it the confidence to move back up again. All right, the only sideways actions we had was around here. You can see we had this area here where we had the sideways action and we're still in it, but it's a matter of time. I think it's going to do its thing, because Solana did take a massive hit, and I've got a feeling it's time for Solana to come back and play the game. So if you're holding, just hodl. I wouldn't go and buy anymore. I mean, if you're holding for a long time, obviously you can buy. These are great opportunities. Anytime you see a discount in the market, these are good time to buy. But trading or anything like this, just be very careful. That's all I'm going to say. So these are risky zones to trade. All right, whenever the market, and remember, altcoins will do what they need to do, provided the entire market is still safe and provided that Bitcoin is still positive. Remember, Bitcoin is still the king, is still the leader in the market. Most of the sentiment, most of the money is around Bitcoin, so if Bitcoin takes a bit of a shit, everyone's going to take a shit. So please do understand. It's very important. Let's look at Cardano. Cardano, same formation. I don't have to say this. This is exact same formation. Let's get rid of all of this. I'll actually update the charts later on today or something when I get some time. But you can see this exact same formation formed here with Cardano, and you can see how we're in this particular range. So far, we can see there's a few more bounce. Nothing too significant here to indicate that we're moving forward. In fact, if you do this confirmation here, you can see, look, it's still saying we are coming down. So we can see this daily, it is indicating we are coming down. However, good news is we are seeing this formation coming, saying that very soon, and this gap is closing up very soon, we will have a little bit of a bullish action here. So we're going to observe this and see what happens. But Cardano is just getting ready. So the pump is coming. That means we are going to dump a little bit more, according to this, and then we can see this is forecasting. Remember, this is a leading, so this is trying to predict what will happen based on everything. This is trying to tell us that, guys, we will come down a little bit, we're going to go do, and then we're going to see a nice little move. That's what this is indicating to us, that we are going to have a push above. All right, so patience will prevail. That's the most important thing. Whatever the market's going to do, it's going to come. And now, other thing I wanted to quickly warn everybody else as well, that, of course, I said that we might come and see this. If the Bitcoin market doesn't stay as it is, then we can easily come down, and that's the end of the market cycle. So remember, it's a very important things to understand. At this particular time, you have to be very careful what you do, because the market could easily flip any direction now. Okay, it could flip any direction. eGold has been surprising everybody. eGold is doing its thing. It's on another level. Plenty of partnerships, plenty of stuff going on. The trend line's secure as well. I mean, it's doing its thing. Just can't complain. It's doing its thing, right? You can't complain. So far, so good. It did have a little bit of a downward here. For example, you can see this pattern here. We did have a little bit of a dip here, but it recovered very well. So this was a key area to look at, that, okay, is the sentiment strong or not? And this kind of indicated that, look, we broke out of the channel, but quickly recovered and came back into the channel. This is indicating that the market is actually a lot positive. So the ego holders or the buyers are very positive about this. So far, so good, right? It's awesome to see. That's what I'm going to say. Very awesome to see. Even when you look at this area here, you can see how bullish they have been. So all of this is indicating that this coin has great potential. Now let's go and look at some facts and see what is going to happen right now. So based on the facts, we can see there's momentum moving back in, right? So stochastic RSI in the perfect zone, perfect buy zone, indicating that it's a good buy zone about to come. However, the RSI does have a little bit of a slight bearish divergence, saying, guys, we're not quite ready yet. Okay, so just keep an eye on this one. I mean, if you're holding, great, hodl. All right, hodling is one of the best things to do. Now, we do see here, we can see this sentiment change here. So this is kind of predicting that, guys, we are going to see a little bit more bearish. So, you know, it's a good time to buy, but not the best time to actually start trading or going all crazy on it or anything like this. So hodl, hodl, that's what I'm going to say. But ultimately, if you've made enough money, make sure you take your initial investment out. That's the most important thing to do. AVAX had its pump, it's done its thing. Right now, AVAX has entered a sideways zone, which is not the best. But then again, the entire market is doing this, and this is the concerning part. So when we see these areas, it is quite concerning. However, good news is AVAX has managed to stay above its previous all-time high, and it's continuing. So there is a little bit of a dump from what I see here. For example, when I'm looking at this zone here, I can see that there is a dump forming here. But then again, if AVAX continues to pump with all the news and everything, we can easily see AVAX actually do something more like this, pick up and move up, right? But when we're looking at the data, we can see that this two candles here, the bears have been in control, and we can see all of this being kind of confirmed here as well, that bears do want to take control and push the market down. So all of this is indicating the market wants to come down. Great, that's the prediction. And then if you look here, you can see that it is coming down. So again, great news. I mean, we can see coming into a buy zone again. If you're not holding it, this is a great time to buy, but just be cautious, because this market could easily collapse. Right, this market could easily collapse, and for this to be invalidated, our neckline that we have sadly is here. So when you realize that the market's collapsed, we're already here. I mean, in fact, if you wanted to do a mini one, you can actually even do this mini one here. So what I'm trying to say is, if you bought it here and like, oh, we're going to have a little bounce, and I'm going to buy it at $60. By the time we hit $50, you're already at a loss, and it's already too late. Do you know what I mean? So that's what you have to really, really understand, right? That's why I'm warning everybody, guys. If you haven't bought it, be careful. And this is one of the reasons why I told you guys even a month ago. I said, look, guys, I'm starting to scale out. I'm starting to scale out of as many altcoins as I can. So basically, I don't stick around in the market when the market collapses, right? So the whole idea for me is, I don't want to be in the market when this market collapses, right? Do you know what I mean? Because these things do happen. We could go into another bear market and stay in a bear market for another 6 months to a year. Are you prepared? That's the most important thing, right? You know, every single metric we see here is irrelevant, right? I mean, I can look at hundreds of coins. It's totally irrelevant, because remember, the most dominant force in the market is this guy here. Why? Because this guy here has the most amount of money locked into it, right? So it has the most amount of money, and we can see that when you look at the entire market cap, you see 12,180 coins, volume 94, and out of that $94 billion volume, you can see, right, that, I mean, just what the hell? Whoa. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Sorry, I got confused there for a second. I was like, what the hell? I thought that was Cardano. Damn, that freaked the life out of me. I'm telling you, I was like, what the hell? 65 million volume for Cardano? I was like, no way. Okay, so what you can see is half of that volume is this two coins here. Now you do your maths. 12,180 minus two coins. How many do you have that have all the rest of the volume? That's scary. That means one of this takes a bit of a nap. Everybody takes a nap forever. And then you'll have a lot of exit scams and whatnot and this and that. So please do understand, altcoins are going to be tough to hold. Right now, of course, you can treat it like a discount, but only stay on the prominent ones. Stay on the good coins. You know, if you are picking some up, you got to be able to be in it for the next 4 or 5 years. At least minimum 6 months to 2 years, I would say, right? Why? Because you know how traditionally when we go into a bear market, we can see how each bear market can last, right? So if for example, if this was a bear market, you can see this bear market lasted until, say for example, here, what was this? This was 89 bars, right? That's almost a year and a half, guys. And we had no idea that we are not in a bear market until we did this. You see what I mean? Until we came to this zone here. Let me show you here, for example. Let me leave this here. So until we came to this neckline, there was no confirmation that we're coming out of the bear market, this neckline. So you see, so we went down and we had to come back all the way up here to confirm that we're out of a bear market. And even then, it didn't last. It was a failed rally. All right. So please do understand how these things work, right? You know, this bear market, how long did we last? Come down here. We lasted 90 bars, another 1.5 years. So you can see this average is constantly showing up. And then when did we confirm that we're out of the cycle? Here. So you see we had a few more weeks and a month here, and then we confirmed here. So very important to understand that bear markets last a very long time. Okay, they last a very long time. Even, for example, the closest one we had was 2019. So you can see from here to here, technically is a bear market, 38 bars. Close to what, 8-9 months, I don't know, anything like that. But when did we actually confirm that we're not in a bear market? When we broke this neckline, which was here. And you can see that it took a few months for us to get to that level, confirm that we're not in a bear market anymore, and ultimately for the bull run to confirm that we are now in an official bull run. We took a few more months to confirm that now we're breaking the previous all-time high, and now we're going there, because this is the trend. Right, you got to break the neckline. Whenever you see any pattern, doesn't matter what it is, you have to break the neckline in order for you to confirm. So this was the neckline that confirmed that this level has been invalidated, and now we're moving back up again. All right. So please do understand. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. That's all I'm going to say, guys. I've been warning everybody. I'm still warning everybody. Be careful. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. Remember one thing I always say, guys. Nothing goes down straight in a straight line. Nothing goes up in a straight line. And so far we can see that, yes, of course, we've had, you know, all of this bearish action here. I mean, look at how many days we had it for. I mean, it's been disgusting, right? So if we look from here all the way to this candle here, because technically until this candle here, we had 97 days. Just over 3 months of bearish action. If you can actually hodl during this time, or be patient during this time, or pick up some nice bargains as well during this time, you've done all right. You've done absolutely right, because we had a 55% dump. And then if you say, for example, some of you guys have entered during this time, you've managed to come all the way up to here, where you've done a nice little 79%. So you see what I mean? On the way down, we had a 55% correction. On the way up, we had a 79%. And some of these altcoins exploded during this time. I mean, Solana and this and that exploded this time. Awesome. I wouldn't really bother too much about it. Now we're seeing this particular pattern forming here, which is showing us that up to here, for example, we've had 21 days of complete shit show. Yeah, 21 days, including today. So for the last 21 days, we've been ultra shitty here. Actually, I just realized this one. There we go. So 21 days of complete shit show here. We really need to start moving at some point. Let's see how long this lasts. But remember, this is a level for us to observe. As long as we can stay above this neckline here, and I'm going to use the wick as well, it doesn't matter. As long as we can stay above the $37,000, bounce back up again and create some new higher highs. And, you know, the pattern we want to see is ultimately if we did come down. So I'm saying worst case scenario, we come down here. We want to see something like this, something like this, something like this, something like this. And what that means is we are constantly creating new bottoms, and those bottoms are constantly higher than the previous bottom, ultimately giving us the opportunity to move back up again. All right, so all of this is showing that getting here is not going to be easy. Okay, so keep calm. You know, don't get excited. See the market for what it is. Everything in the market is right now, like, institutionally. Go and ask someone in the institution, they will observe the same thing. They'll say, okay, sentiment is down. And why wouldn't it be? China FUD, this FUD, that FUD, even Celsius FUD. So many FUD, right? FUD everywhere. I mean, they might as well call it a fart, right? Because literally that's what they're doing. If they're too gassy, they fart. Hey, V, how you doing, bro? Awesome. Nice to see you on the chat, yeah? So that's what it is. I mean, these people, I mean, whenever we build steam, they come back and shit on it, right? And that's what's going on. If you realize people's sentiment are being messed around with by news. You know, if everybody in crypto stopped looking at the news, do you know this market will only go parabolic? It won't stop. It wouldn't know when to stop. Because funny thing is people are actually very bullish. They want to buy. They want to hold. But you have those small retail investors, and listen to this. This power is unbelievable. Let me explain this to you. Watch this. Some guy got with $100 million buys crypto. He only he buys $100 million worth of crypto, Bitcoin, for example. His transaction is only one transaction. So on chain, his 100 million, of course, is showing 100 million balance transfer, but it's only one transaction. That doesn't start, hitting the algorithm and saying, guys, we're super bullish. That one guy doesn't make any difference. But if you have 100 million people, or say 100,000 people buying even $1, well, guess what? You fire up the algorithm. And that's what it is. Most of those people who are buying or selling around here are the small retail investors who are messing with the algorithm without even thinking, because they just do not have, I mean, I've seen people, right? There's, people who bought like $500 worth. And when the market dipped by 5%, they sold. And I was like, sorry, say that again. You sold because it was 5% less. Bro, do you know what 5% is of $500? I was like, oh, it's $2.50. I'm like, yeah. You sold because you're 5% down. Are you so stupid? Right? It doesn't make it. This is the thing. And he didn't realize that. And I said, you've just given the algorithm a negative energy by saying you're selling because you panic. You panic sold for what, $2.50 loss? I mean, you pay $3 for a coffee and you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense sometimes. I mean, there are people who bought here and are down 50%. People who bought like down here, for example, I know people who actually bought it straight here. Currently, according to where we are right now, they're still down 38%. And they bought like a whole BTC. Some of them even bought a couple of BTCs and they're down 38%. They didn't panic sold because they bought it for the next 5 years, 10 years, right? Some of those bought it for 5 years, most of them actually, and some of them bought it for 10 years. They're 38% down, but they understand. They're convicted. They said, look, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go in this market and do this. And then a guy buys at $500 down here, somewhere down here, $500, and he sells because he's 5% down. Seriously? But that just explains to us that this is how the retail work. Retail come in with a very small amount, $100, $200, $300, right? And that's all they can afford to lose. But when they see a very small dip, they start panicking. And this is what's triggering the market. So, and then on top of that, you've got newcomers coming in who want to leverage trade. They have no idea. They want to leverage trade. They have no idea what they're doing. And they actually end up wrecking themselves. They actually do end up wrecking themselves because the thing is, they are, over optimistic. Somebody's told them, oh, look, or some YouTuber or whatever, and not me, by the way. I always tell you, do not trade. They see something, they're like, oh, the YouTuber said what's going to happen. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. And, fine, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. But the bigger picture is something else. Do you know what I mean? And they don't understand that. And when they don't understand that, they actually end up getting themselves wrecked. Like here, for example, we can see this upward channel. Right, we can see this upward channel forming here on the wicks, absolutely fine, right? But that's not good enough for us to open a trade. I mean, if you just look at this, that is not good enough for us to open a trade. For us to open a trade, we need to get above this neckline. So the time someone should be trading is here, not here, because here we still haven't confirmed anything. We're still below. I mean, if you look at this, it might be a higher low, but still low. Do you know what I mean? Whoever you are, Dav Hack or whatever you are, you're a scam. You shouldn't be on live streams scamming people. So text. So look, it even comes up as a text. So they're not actually a thing. They're a bot. Do you see that? They are a bot and they've managed to figure out how to send text to live streams. Scams. Who the hell calls themselves Dav Hack 24/7 on Twitter? You want to get hacked? Go for it, guys. But yeah, avoid these scammers. And whenever you see them, report them, right? Report them to thing. So always make sure to report them so these scammers can be blocked by the algorithms. Because unfortunately, we have no other way of doing it but to block them. So, just report them and do what needs to be. But yeah, I mean, look, that's what's going on. Be patient, be patient, be patient. I'm not gonna make this any longer. But by the way, guys, do you have any coins you want me to talk about? If not, then yeah, I'll probably just go and have a coffee, chill out a little bit, go and do some other stuff. So please let me know if you have any other coins you want me to talk about. If not, then yeah. Alright, so we've got just checking the chats. No more chats, so that's good. Not many people watching. I think I bored everybody. Again, listen, guys. My streams, if you're expecting them to be a 5-minute, 10-minute stream, they're not going to be, because I do go deep into what I do. And I hope, oh, okay, Crypto Cycle, awesome stream. Thank you, bro. Awesome to you too. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you for coming to the show, bro. Awesome. But look, market's doing what it needs to do. Be patient, but keep an eye. Remember, you got to be very cautious, very cautious. Okay, very cautious right now, because I've seen this same thing happen too many times. And this is a very good one to see as well. If you look at the 7-day, just the normal chart, if you look at the pattern, exact duplicate. All right, if you look almost close enough, but you look at this, everything pretty much does the same thing. So we can see here Uniswap has been doing the opposite. It's a good way of seeing which coin is actually doing well and which coin is not doing well. Obviously you still see the percentage, but you can see which has been pumping, which is not. But other than that, guys, be patient, chill out, don't FOMO, don't FUD, right? Ignore the bloody news, see if, let the market do its thing. And ultimately, as I said, everything is still looking super solid. And as we can see, we did the statistics, right, where on a monthly basis we know that how bullish we have been or bearish we've been, right? So you can see that during the month of October, November and December, we've always been bullish, well, majority of the time, right? So we can use that data majority of the time. Brother Yamvi asked for Atom, so let's move over to Atom. I do have Atom. Atom is one of those I don't even look at it. There was coins, by the way, there's a lot of coins here, guys. I don't look at them, all right? And everyone might ask, why don't you look at them? They're my long holds. So what I've done is I've got them at a very cheap price. I've taken my initial out, and then since then I'm just chilling. I don't need to look at them. You just chill with them. You don't do anything, you don't do anything. Atom is doing the same thing as the market, bro. So it's reacted the same way as the market. So ultimately, you just got to wait for the market to do. And it's the same thing, Yamvi. I know there are guys out there who are very bullish on some coins, specific coins. And it's good. Pick your coin, stick to your coin, right? And I have my coins as well. I've got my 10, 15 different favorite ones. And sometimes I even add a 1 or 2 more. But what I'm trying to say here, stick to your coin, absolutely fine. But what you need to understand is the market reacts with the big boys. The market will react when the big boys react. I can assure you, if BTC today takes a 50% dump and goes to the floor, that's it. Everyone's exiting all of this. Everybody's exiting, right? So please do understand these kind of things. You're bullish, super bullish, that's fine. I mean, we've almost come and hit that target that we made previously, right? So far, so good. Now, if we actually want to do a target, I mean, if that's what you want, we can do a nice little target and say, okay, this is where Atom is today, and what's the potential for Atom? We can see Atom has a potential to go to $69, and Atom is a very underappreciated asset, in my opinion. Atom should be high up already. Atom should have been pumping already. Anyway, let's look at the data and see what the data is telling us. The data is telling us, guys, we've just had a little bit of a bearish cross. We are going to come down. Okay, so Atom is telling us in the short term, daily, we are going to calm down. So be prepared, right? We can see this also indicating that we are going down. There's no ifs and buts. So if someone's basically bought some, it's had its peak, it's coming down a little bit, it's coming in for a correction. And normally when people say, well, how much is the correction? Well, guys, it's very simple. Remember, whenever we have a top, a correction is usually 50%, right? So we always do a 50% correction. That's what the correction should be. We can even use a fib here, for example, and say, well, this was the level, and we should have a 50% correction. So 50% should take us somewhere, so around here. So this is according to this, 50% should be here, but obviously that's, I'm using a longer time data, longer data. If I do use this area here, then 50% should be around here. So it's always 50% fib, right? Always 50% fib. And yeah, so we can use this. Too bad, wanna explode, but BTC is holding her back. Atom should have exploded a few years ago. What Atom is building and the technology Atom has given to people is phenomenal, right? And a lot of companies, did you know, what's it called? Did you know Binance was built on Atom? Binance was built on Atom. So a lot of these chains originally start with Atom. Then they raise money and they leave Atom. Atom never got appreciation because of that, right? And it's a superior technology. It's a brilliant technology. There's many projects out there with the Cosmos SDK. They used it because they created an SDK, and they just go out there and they build the exchanges, whatnot, and then after, when they raise money, they fuck off. Right? Excuse my language, but that's what it is, right? And they leave Atom behind. So, and I think that problem, because of that, is the problem they have. Atom never had a actual proper tokenomics. So what I mean by that, Atom originally did not have staking. Atom was just a technology, right? Buy the dip. So I'm assuming buy the dip is Vision, right? So your Vision from our Discord server, right? Bro, I didn't disregard anything. I don't know. Listen, I'm glad you're on the actual chat today. Let me show you. Bro, this is really important. I didn't disregard anything. You're not understanding what I've said. You're I think you are ignoring me. So look, I haven't changed this, bro. I haven't changed this, right? Neither have I changed any of the data points here. This line has not changed. It's been there for months. According to this line, as we move along, you can see this line so far ends at the $35,000. So I haven't changed that. So, and also if you look, I've said the Fibonacci line is 27. So you're saying 37, I'm saying 27. I haven't changed the official bear market because that invalidates this whole run if we go back to the thing and we're looking at a greater pattern, right? Okay, not Vision, that's fine. So there's somebody else by the name of Vision who's also been mentioning certain things. I'm not sure who you are on the Discord, but anyway, maybe you're on the Discord. But what I'm trying to say, look, I'm not... Awesome, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate that. No, also, listen, this is a constructive conversation, right? So I'm not having a go at you or anything like this, and I'm not disregarding you. What I want you to understand is I've had this on my chart for a very long time, right? And what this means is I've said if we do not go above the $58,000, we are in a consolidation zone. This is undecided area. So this whole box, and I'll put a box here, this whole zone here, everything you see in between this purple box here and this green box here is nothing. This is just a consolidation zone. We're not in agreement or in disagreement. This doesn't give us anything, any signal to say if we're bullish or if we're bearish. So as I said, if we go above the 58, we break this neckline, then we now have a forward momentum. And what we're looking at, remember, one of the patterns a lot of people don't understand about trends is we've had this area here, and regardless what we did, let's do all of this, doesn't matter, right? Let's do all of this. This is a neckline that we need to break. And what we need to do is have something to come back here and confirm this breakout. And once this breakout is confirmed, now we've broken the neckline here. Let me put this here, for example. We've broken the neckline here. And now we're bucketing the bull run. This area here, this 58, puts us back into the bull run. Now, anything below this, I have specifically mentioned, and let me take all of this off. Give me a second. Right, anything below this area, and let me also take this off as well, right? So anything below this $58,000 has the potential to go all the way down to this 25,000, maybe even the $20,000, right? So please do understand. And also what I have mentioned, and I haven't saved this, right? I didn't save it, but what I have mentioned is this particular line here, this downward trend here, even though we broke it, right? We did break it, but this is now... so if I extend it, I'll show you what I mean, right? If I extend it down here somewhere, right? So as you see, as we progress, this line, this trend line, we have to stay above this, because this has now become this for us. You see what I mean? So this is like a diagonal trend line for us, is what we need to protect ourselves. If we fall below this line, then we're back into the danger zone, right? So I hope this kind of makes sense. Yes, and when you're talking about mid-October, that's a different one, right? So when you're looking at mid-October, that's a different chart altogether. What we did was we used previous cycles in order to calculate what the current cycle might do. So we used some maths, and I've got some videos pinned on the Discord, and I mentioned how, we were down here somewhere, and I said expect the dump to be over on the 19th of July, and our dump started to be over on the 21st of July. Or was it 21st or 20th? 21st of July, right? So that's where it pumped. And then based on the previous history, I said expect a reversal on the 18th of October. Right? So the 18th of October is, somewhere down here where we should be expecting a reversal. And the reversal, the idea is, look, even then, we need to come back above this line. So if you look carefully, we have these greater trend lines. Actually, let me put it on the weekly. It will be easier to show you. So what you're seeing here, look, sorry, my bad. Right? I hope this kind of makes sense by the dip. Sorry, my bro. Look, we've got this trend line here, and we were above this trend line. Everything was awesome. We fell below. But what I did, unlike other people, so most people, they like to change their charts every 5 minutes. I didn't change my chart, right? I left the chart there, and I said, no, guys, this has to stay there. So I've left this as a trend line, this blue line, and I said, look, we're below this, and we can use this as a guide. For us to continue to be bullish, we need to be above. And my target is not that high. For us to be above, I'm being very, very modest. I'm being very kind to Bitcoin. And all I've said, for us to be high, we need to get back into this blue line, right? And the blue line is 53. That's all. We have to just break this, because this is what's going to reverse the trend. Again, if you look at the pattern, you see that down, up, down here right now. And what we do when we come here, we invalidate this area. And now we've got ourselves a higher high. That means the market is now trending up. So far, we're still technically in a bull market, because we have a low and we have a higher low, which is also trending up. That is telling us that we are definitely still in a bull market. But price, whether we come to 37 or go to 25 or go to 10, bro, we don't know. Nobody can predict what's the lowest price is going to be. We don't know. We can only observe with the maths, or like Fibonacci levels and this and that, and say, well, this is a probability or a highly likelihood of what it might do, right? Other than that, we really can't say anything else. You know what I mean? So, we have to understand the market for what it is and what it's doing. And there's nothing stopping us. For example, another thing, if the market wants to go down, so for example, we had this high, we came down here, we did this, nothing's stopping us from doing this. And if we did this, bro, that's a lower low, and we're screwed. Do you see what I mean? And this isn't. So this lower low, and this is what I want you to understand, this 37 and whatever, for us to be in a bear market, you can see as soon as we cross this level here, let me try and show you this. So you see this 27k yellow line. As soon as we cross this 27k yellow line, we're in a bear market. There's no ifs and buts. The market's going down. Everybody should short the market, right? Until then, this is nothing. We could easily bounce here and move back up again. And we've been doing, like for example, I'll give you a good example here. Show you this zone here. So you see this zone here. We've been hovering around these zones here, and these zones are all the way back from January, right? You can see they're from January. We've been hovering around this zone. Yes, we've dipped in a few times, but that's fine. That's used to be once upon a time a resistance, became a support, and now we're finding support here again. So hope this kind of makes sense. All right, because these are strong data points that nobody's looking at, that we have to cross. I mean, this area here, right, very strong, but ultimately this one candle dictates whether we go up or down. This one candle says whether we go and do 100k BTC or whether we go back to oblivion. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not disregarding, please understand, I am not disregarding anything. All I'm trying to say to you is to understand the market for what it is, right? There's so much data here that everybody needs to understand. There is no such thing as we're going to 37 and then bouncing. There is no such thing as we're going to think, because ultimately that number is not defined, it's not fixed. You know, it's not like a dice that you only have 1 to 6. So you only have a choice of 1 to 6 numbers. It is not. Do you know what I mean? So it is not predefined. There is no absolute number saying that we are going to come to 37 and that's it. Because this trend line continuously is moving downwards, right? You can see this area here was based on this January area here. So we do have a $37,000 here, you know? So we can spend all day talking about I'm saying 38 and you saying 37. Forget it. We don't need to. Only thing we need to look at is what the market is doing. And right now the market has been going down. Fine. What happens when the market goes down? Do you have an answer for that? Because I do. When the market goes down like this, the next move, especially after a options expiry, well, the next move historically is upwards. Obviously, I've left this trend line here as well, just as a signal. If we do move upwards, what do we have to see? We have to see a pattern that brings us back up here, and brings us into this zone again and continue this bounce. That's what we need to see. So I hope this kind of makes sense. Yeah, bro, I've been watching you for a while. Mad respect for your work. I reckon we're closing this monthly candle at around 43. Then come the weekend or even the start of next week, we should we should start dumping mid 30s for final shakeout. Yeah, I mean, look, there could be another shakeout, of course. Whether we see it at the end of the month or whether we not see it at the end of the month, that's a different story. The reason is look, when we did the beginning of the video, so I don't know if you saw the beginning of the video, we did something and it's still here, and I'll show you this because I made sure I kept it here just to show you guys. Let me get rid of all of this shit, basically. Give me a second. Right, so without deleting everything, let me get rid of all of this shit, and this will make total sense to you. All right, you know, being in the predictive market is not the best you know, thing to do, because it's really hard to do, and having an absolute number is harder, right? So normally what I do, I always say, look, we'll put the facts on the chart. I don't really want to say anything else. Let the chart tell me what the news is or what's going to happen, rather than me telling you, right? So I just want the chart to tell me. And so far, remember what we did here. We saw how the chart was telling us that something specific is happening here, and we should not disregard this, right? So we took the data from the chart to tell us what's really happening here. Let me get rid of all of this. It'll make total sense to you. So we can see that what the charts told us is based on previous history, right? And let's go into weekly and show you this. So based on previous history, we can see the chart has been telling us that traditionally, majority of the time, we have had a nice little pump during these months, right? We have had nice little pumps during these months. Traditionally, we can see that, of course, there may be a bit of a shakeout, whatever, but traditionally it's been bullish. Now we can move into the monthly candles to get ourselves a better idea of all of this, actually. So that's why I wasn't using the monthly, because it is kind of confusing. But anyway, let's use this. October, November, December, bullish, right? Bullish. Right, here we had October bearish, and then November we started becoming a little bit bullish, and then December bullish, but obviously not as great, right? That's the only one we had. Here you can see bullish, right? So what we're seeing is ultimately there is some bullish action. Now, whether you call it shakeout or not, it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people have already been shaken out by all the bollocks that we get, excuse my language, but I think we've already been done up with all the FOMO hype and all the crazy shitty news that we get, China, this, that, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think majority of people have been shaken out, because when you start looking at the hold on one second, I'll show you what I mean. This, look, you're gonna love this one. So you can go to Bybit and see this volatility, and what you're seeing here is the volatility is low, bro. You see, when you start looking at this zone here, and I'll zoom into it, I mean, just look at this. This is, and I'll show you, this is so funny. Look, we were so volatile here, picking up volatility, right? Retail are interested, and then some guys got shaken out, big time shaken out, right? When they got shaken out, that's it, they left, right? So we see this is like back in the days, right? Let's move back into another time frame. Let me show you. I hate this, right? You're gonna love this, right? So as now we're progressing where we are, right? And what you see here, look, we've had some lovely spikes here, lovely spikes, volatility. People are interested, and now look, They're shaken out already. People have already shit themselves. Majority of the people never came back again. Since this pump, look, since here, when people got shaken out, they never came back again. So when you're talking about shakeouts, they're already shooken out. They're already shaken out. They're not coming in. Right? So does that make any sense to you? So what we need to see now is not a shakeout, because I think those have happened. I mean, every little, now only thing that are being shaken out are the traders. So a lot of traders are definitely getting wrecked. But I think majority of the people who are coming in, they've already been shaken out. Looking at this, you tell me, now we are less volatile than we were here. We were more volatile technically here, even during this particular dump. So you can see the chart, right? We were less volatile here, and that's when people started coming out, exiting, taking profits, whatnot. Here, we are very less volatile. You know what I mean? So we need to see this volatility come back in. What we need to see is people's emotion change. We need good news, and we need to ignore all the bollocks that's going on in the world, right? Because there's so much shit out there, I'm telling you. I mean, it's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. Talking about pathetic, let's have a look at news and see how pathetic some of the news are. Chinese crypto investors blocked from CoinGecko. Wow. I mean, look at this. Blocked from CoinGecko. What kind of a bullshit news is that? Why would you block someone from using a website? Again, this is how FUD starts, right? Okay. Ethereum miner returns. 22 million gas fees. No idea what's going on. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just quickly see who this is on the phone. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this is some idiot. Alright, that was the good, absolutely nobody. So anyway, erroneously, whatever, high 22 million gas fee on Bitfinex wallet. Awesome. Interesting. So they paid 22 million for 100,000 transaction. Seriously? Do you see what I listen, this is the kind of scammy stuff that it doesn't make it. This is FUD. This is FUD. So people are going to get off the exchange. FUD. Right? This is FUD. You know what I mean? Angel Labs announces 5 million seed round led by okay, fine, it's all good, right? So what are we going to do? We need the coins. That's what we need. We don't want to know about this. Okay. So there's small mixed messages, you know. It's crazy. 10 million to expand social token services for creators. Okay, but isn't that what XCAD is doing? So now we have a competitor. It doesn't make any sense. Woman-led professional network wants to help crypto reconnect after COVID. Seriously, why are we connecting crypto with COVID anymore? Isn't that a bit of a stupid thing, right? TVO, we don't know about. So these are the things that mess with you, right? These are the things. Look at all of this. These are the things all made to mess with your heads. So this is why you don't want to look at this stuff. If you want to just browse it. But for me, I don't even read the article. I just ignore it. I would look at the headlines just for you guys. Other than that, you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't want to know about the news. I don't want to know what's going around the world. I'm in crypto. I want to stay in crypto. I want to make money in crypto. Happy days. That's what I want to do. So yeah, guys, as I said, look, you know, when you're looking at higher time frames, this is what we got. And we do know we have some data here that tells us very simple what we're going to be seeing very soon. So after a dump, we usually see a pump. So I hope this kind of makes sense, right? And let's see where we go. But how far, how soon, when? 100K? We don't know. We don't know. Whether we're going to go to 30K or 35K, we don't know. You know, and another, oh yeah, talking about 30K, my God. Buy the dip, this one's for you, bro. 30K, let's talk about 30K. This one's going to be really, really cool. This one's going to be really, really cool. I want to show you this so this kind of makes sense to you, right? So we've had this area here where we've had this low here. We've had this low here. And we've also had this low here, right? So this is what we've had. If we come back to 30K, so we come back, say 30K. Let's just say 30K. We come and wipe out 30K. We have this low here. Bro, I can assure you, if we come to 30K, then we're going down this direction. And for me, I'm out. that's a bear market. If we go to 30k, we're too close to these levels that the push will be so hard and the sentiment will be so bad that thanks to everybody, we are now going one direction, which is this. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. That would be the fourth confirmation that this is now going to be going down. All right, hope that kind of makes sense, right? And this wouldn't be a situation where I'll be telling anybody to buy the dip. I'll be saying, guys, just wait for the bottom. Right, literally, when you go to 30 expecting a bounce, we're coming down here, and I'll tell everybody, guys, wait for this and buy this. All right, so I hope this kind of makes sense, because that's what I'm seeing. Because 4 times, that's a lot of attempts. That's a lot of attempts. Do you know what I mean? I mean, anything below this reverses everything. If we go to 37, we have a higher probability of actually going. So this 37 here, we have a higher probability of reversing the market. You know what I mean? Because if we do come back down here, then we're banging on the door. We might see this. We've got a bigger potential to go do this. And as soon as we do this, we've created a brand new trend, which is now going downwards. And adios, my amigos. We're going to be in there for some time. So I hope this kind of helps, guys. I'm not going to make it any longer. Like, share, subscribe. I want a coffee. But I hope this was valuable. As I said, look, I'm not having a go at anybody. I'm not doing anything. I don't claim to be some top-notch big boss out there. None of that business. I don't claim to have a crystal ball. I don't know. I always say this, and I openly say this, guys. I don't know what the next candle is going to be. I can only assume what the next candle may be based on probabilities that we have. And so far, if we do have a 37k and we can't hold that, then we have a higher likely probability of going down even further. We need to understand this. So we need to get back above some certain lines that we have. For example, the area we need to get above currently is the 44,000, or call it 44, 45, doesn't matter what you want to call it. Close enough, right? So this particular area here, if we do not go above this 45,520, we're in trouble, because the trend is now trending down. You know what I mean? So please do understand. And yeah, love for all of you guys who just came to the show, came, talked, anything. Awesome. Yeah, I get confused, you know. There's a lot of guys out there who say certain things and kind of talk the same way, so I get confused who's who. And I know some people have been messaging me on Discord and whatnot. Guys, I don't look at Discord when I'm sitting here. I'm not here to look at Discord. I'm trying to stream and give you info, right? So we don't want to look at Discord. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense to you guys. So yeah, I hope this kind of makes sense. But other than that, guys, as I said, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. I hope this was all informative. You found value, and if you did find value, please do subscribe, obviously, hit that like, and share with somebody else. Share it on your Twitter, share it on your Facebook, share it wherever. Do you know what I mean? And then we take it further from there. But remember, yeah, what we see here. Yeah. So it takes me back to that point. Is this a Batman? Is this a Goblin? Or is this a Mickey Mouse? Which one's it going to be? A Goblin will gobble you up. A Mickey Mouse is going to have fun with you. Batman's going to be a superhero. So, yes, my friends. That's all I'm going to say for today. I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios.